All right, welcome back. How's everybody doing? Just a fair warning, this microphone was having a lot of problems yesterday. And so let me know if it starts acting up and we can switch. I figured out how to use my phone as a microphone and it kind of works. Not as ideal, but yeah, so fair warning. I am looking to get a new microphone because this one I've tried everything with it to fix it, and it's yeah. But yeah, okay. What is it? Oh yeah, laskiaististai. Hyvä laskiaististaita, Tyler. Thanks, Boyu. That's Mardi Gras or Fat Tuesday. But I grew up in this with family in Louisiana. They call it Mardi Gras. When I'm getting ready for my boss fight against Selko Uutiset, it's the same boss fight every Tuesday. What can I say? Mikä kuukausi nyt on? Oh, Lorelai. Don't torture me like this, all right? I know, well, we had Helmikuu. That's not the current one. That's the previous. We had Tammikuu, Helmikuu. Why do I think it's Maaliskuu? Maaliskuu, right? Is it this? March, thank you. Whew. Yeah. Yeah, happy Hyvää Maaliskuuta. I don't know if that's how you would say that, but happy March to you guys. Yeah. But oh yeah, welcome in everybody. Yeah, Poyu, JF, Lorelai. Good to see you all here. Yeah, business as usual with the microphone, pretty much. Yep. What is this? Minä nukuin pommiin, kun puhelimesta loppui akku. En ehtinyt pitämään esitelmää. Something about you slept? Pommin. Why did I think this means like a boss? Or is it? I think it's like pomo is boss. But I don't know. And then something when the phone stopped, the battery died. Is that akku? And then you didn't, en ehtinyt. Does that mean like you didn't realize or something? Esitelmää. Why do I think why I think that means like to show. All right, well, Lorelai, thank you for your advanced level Finnish. I overslept when my phone ran out of battery. I didn't have time to give my presentation. Whoa, like a work presentation? I'm sorry that happened. I hope that, or maybe it was a school presentation. What is this? Ei auta herätys, kun puhelin ei herätä. What? Something about it doesn't help to be bothered when the phone doesn't bother. Is that what that means? Let me. An alarm clock doesn't help when the phone doesn't wake up. What? This is the alarm clock. Is that what that means? Heratus? Or wake up? I don't know. The alarm doesn't help when the phone itself doesn't wake up. Well, I hope that you got that resolved and you weren't in too much trouble, Lorelai. Pommi is a bomb? Wait, what? You slept to the bomb. Is that what that means, Lorelai? And Boyu responded, kuvittele, Lorelai, jos esitelmäsi olisi ollut ajoissa olemisesta. Is it weird that you guys can hear me pronouncing and saying words in your language that you understand that I don't? Do you ever think that because I pronounce the words, maybe just maybe I understand what you guys are saying? Okay, wait, let me actually try to translate this if I look more closely. Something about kuvittele is like to show, or it is showing, like show Lorelai if esitelmäsi, your presentation olisi ollut ajoissa olemisesta. Something about it, if that your presentation would have been on time, something. Well, we can find out. Imagine, oh, okay, imagine, that's what, oh yeah, kuvi is image, so kuvittele is to imagine. Imagine, Lorelai, if your presentation had been about being on time. Yeah, okay, this, I mean, because we have the verb olla, and then it becomes oleminen, right? Then sort of like being, oleminen, and it's about being, olemisesta, ajoissa, on time. This is like classic Finnish. Would have been on time about being. On time being about. It's like you have to put your prepositional phrases in the complete opposite order of how you would say it in English. But yeah. What do we got here, Jay? Oh, and JS and Perks. Good to see you guys here. Also, we always start the stream and it's just like you guys hanging out in chat and then me trying to Sherlock Holmes what you guys are saying. I'm like Benedict Cumberbatch over here. My brain, I got to go to my mind palace to understand the Finnish language. Pretty much at this stage. Tylerin kotitehtävä ensi tiistaiksi kuukaudet suomeksi. You're saying Tyler's homework before Tuesday, the months in Finnish. Something like this. I don't know if I got the exact meaning here. Tyler's homework is due next Tuesday. Okay, ensi. I get this one confused, yeah. It means next Tuesday. Ensi tiistaiksi. Tiistaiksi. It's, yeah, these endings. Like, why does it become iksi on this and not ensi tiistaina or ensi tiistaita? Or ensi tiistain, right? Because it's almost like to next Tuesday. Or tiistaille. Are we back? So, yeah, we had a problem. I don't know why so yesterday we connected my phone to OBS. And now randomly my phone OBS wants to change my microphone to my iPhone. And so, but I could unpair it. But actually, all right. Yeah. So that was, I noticed that happening as I was setting up the stream, it just automatically wants to change the microphone. And so when it does that, it cuts this microphone off. Microphone shenanigans continue. But we'll see. I just plugged it in, and hopefully maybe across the room it doesn't try to connect again. But if it does, I don't know. Maybe I need to go and turn it off. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah. we're in order to solve one problem, we've just created a new one. All right, we've got more problems. Yeah, nukkua pommin is a Finnish idiom, literally meaning sleeping to bomb. I slept to the bomb. Let's see if it's on Wiktionary. Yeah, nukkua pommin, to oversleep, to sleep for longer than planned. I wonder where that came from. Pommi. Oh, we're gonna get our stream taken down. We're just looking up etymology, I promise. But yeah, I guess it's sort of like, you slept in such a way it was not good, not intended. But yeah. Huono olo lakka kun laittaa suuhun lakkaa. What? Huono olo is like a bad state or a bad... Wait, why do I think olo is like a condition or something? A bad condition. Lakka, I don't know what that means. Kun laittaa, when places, or when it is... When one sets suuhun lakka. No idea. I'm sorry, guys. The next time it happens, I'm gonna disconnect the phone. I wonder if I can actually do it here in OBS, if I can like remove it as an option. Let's come over here. Properties. Huh. No. No. Okay. Maybe that fixed it. But if this starts acting up again, it'll be, I don't know. It's like, why does everything have to be so automated? Like, oh, I'm just butting in here to make sure. Oh, you want to use me as a microphone? Like, geez. Okay, all right. Coming back to you guys here. The feeling of being unwell stops when you put it in your mouth. Mm-hmm. We're gonna I don't know if something's lost in translation there, but we might just leave that one to the side for now. But anyways, okay, you had a study presentation. What do you mean work, says Lorelei. Herätys kello is an alarm clock. Herätys is the alarm. Doesn't wake me up would be a better translation. Is that maybe up here? Wait, kuva is image. Kuvi doesn't mean anything, JS. I mean, I was just testing you guys. When I said kuvi, And I said, oh yeah, that means image. I was just making sure that you guys were on board. All right, just that was a test. So good to be paying attention, JS. Thank you. You get a gold star in my classroom. This is like me trying to teach Finnish to a bunch of native speaking Finns, and I'm just like making it up as I go along. That was a test. Just listen to Grammar Girl podcast about English it. English needing subject and verb for sentences, it being expletive as a placeholder pronoun. For example, in it rains, or it's raining, right? And wait, but expletive, do you mean explicit? Because expletive means like a curse word, right? That's a good, I'm curious about that word. Now we'll learn some English, because I might not know. I only know this word when you talk about like curse words. Serving to fill up. So actually, you're right. You're using this the correct way. Whereas I think of it as this, as a noun. Curses. I've never seen it used this way. As an adjective, meaning like redundant. Right? But it could also be marked by expletives. So it could also be, yeah. But yeah, good word, JS. But yeah, T-Stixy is just because. Yeah. And hey, TS, what's up? Welcome in. NCT Stixy for next Tuesday. Deadline is on Tuesday, would be Tistaina. Yeah. iPhone wants to be the main character, and I'm done. I'm done with it, all right? I mean, to be fair, I don't really have problems with my phone, so I can't complain too much, but it's just all the different devices talking to each other that becomes the problem. They all want to be the main character of my life. Also, I don't understand how... You know, I log into a service... Like, was it today or yesterday? I was like, I had to log in for some, like, I don't know if it was banking or whatnot. And, you know, they're like, oh, what's your phone number? You got to get a text message. And also, we're going to send you an email. And then the email is like, suspicious login from a new device. And I'm like, this is my MacBook from like 2016. This is like, this is the only device I'm logging in. How? I'm like, all right. Oh yeah, there's all these the examples of, okay. I didn't even realize on the screen I had all these examples here of the expletives. This is a family-friendly production, all right? Gotta keep it Christian, all right? Gotta keep it... What did you guys have that as a kid where like your parents would like let you see a movie, but then like they would tell you they would like fast forward parts, or they'd be like, you have to close your eyes now, and they like mute it as they go through. There's always like, and especially in the 90s, there were a lot of really good comedies that would have been age appropriate probably for like a little, like for like a 7 or even like an 8-year-old boy. But because there's like sex scenes in the comedy or like sexual humor, it's like we couldn't watch it. I don't know. Maybe I can imagine Finnish families being super awkward. Finnish people have perfected the art of being awkward. So I can only imagine how much more intense the awkwardness is in your family. But maybe I'm mistaken. Give me some cultural education here. What was it like for you guys? I don't know. Yeah, okay. How did we get onto that? That was quite a tangent. But yeah, Finland had a Eurovision song entry in the 80s, Nuku Pommin, that got 0 points. Well, you can't win them all, or you can't win any of them if you're Finland. Shots fired. But hey, the Finnish Wiktionary says that the origin is possibly from the Swedish bom, meaning huti ohi. And yeah, oh, can I disable Bluetooth on the phone during the stream? That's a good idea, JF. I didn't even think about that. So I don't have to like re-enable the device by connecting it. I'll try that maybe next time if I have to hook my phone back up. I'll maybe disable the Bluetooth. That's a good point. Lakka is a berry. Putting cloudberry into the mouth. Something is definitely lost at DV. Thank you. Oh, the feeling of being unwell stops when you put a cloudberry into your mouth. Let me see the dictionary if it got this. Suu. That means mouth. And what about this? Oh, it wants to translate it as lakata, which is to stop, which is this one. This is that, but it's a noun. It's in this case, it's actually being used as a noun for the cloudberry. Lakka. This is a good word. I keep forgetting it. Let's put that one over here. I need to try cloudberries again. I tried them once in 2015 and I didn't like them. They had like a really... But I also tried it back then. Before I was vegan, I had squeaky cheese. And the squeaky cheese was like, oh. And on the Bible, or raise it as an oath, and say that we will never try to create a vegan version of squeaky cheese. Can we just all agree that that was an abomination of the dairy industry, among many abominations? You know, in addition to not reproducing animal cruelty, let's also stop the squeaky cheese while we're on a roll, okay? Oh, the squeaky cheese was so uncomfortable. I didn't realize that it actually would be squeaky. Like when you chew it, it like squeaks in your mouth. Oh, it's like the weirdest sensation. It's like if styrofoam could absorb water. That's kind of what it would be like chewing. Anyways, okay. But hey, I brought that up because I think that also the squeaky cheese affected my cloudberry experience because I had them together. And so I think, yeah, maybe I would like cloudberries. Also, if I try them fresh and not in a jam, it could also have been the jam that I had. But yeah. In that punny sentence, lakka can also mean that you drink lacquer, cheaper liquefied with a cheaper liquid with alcohol content. Yeah, lacquer. I only know of lacquer when it's like you're like working with wood and it's like a stain, right? A glossy resinous material used as a surface coating, right? Either a natural exudation. That's another new word for me. I've never seen. I mean, it makes sense, right? From exuding, but exudation. An exudation. What's the difference between an exudation and an excretion? Because I feel like I would just call it an excretion. The trees excrete sap, but I guess they also exude it. A solution of nitrocellulose in alcohol. It's a varnish, yeah. Well, I would not recommend drinking varnish. That is not among the Harvard nutritional recommendations on the healthy eating plate. But yeah. Yeah, expletive in grammatical sense. I forget that you You guys in chat are like smarter than me. Or you're smarter at linguistics. I mean, at least some of you I know are like actual linguists and like studied it properly. So you know how to use all these terms correctly. So thank you for that. And you're using it as Grammar Girl used it. Oh, okay. Yeah, Google Translate's really struggling here, Perks. You wait, either watch the whole movie or thing or not at all. What was that? What was that in reference to? I don't know. I don't know. Did I talk about a movie or something earlier? I probably asked you guys a question and I already forgot it. Apologies. Apologies, JS. And Lorelai, what, your brothers had recorded something in the middle of recording a movie? Wait, no. Oh, going back to, yeah, it was to a question about how awkward it could be in a family setting. Honestly, I'm going to say I am in favor of the approach that my parents had. I'm not saying I approve of how strict they were with a lot of things, but at least when it came to watching movies as a family, I'm glad I did not sit there and watch these awkward, scenes. I'm glad that my parents were like, oh, we're just gonna skip over that. Because that's the appropriate thing to do, not just for the sake of children and their cognitive development, that's another issue, but like just for the sake of reducing the awkwardness. All right, speaking of that, I need to take a quick break. My nose is running. I'm behind on chat, by the way. Sorry. You're... Oh, get my chair up. Yeah. You found your brother's recording in the middle of a movie? Yeah. And fortunately, you were a teen when you found it, Lorelai. It also, JS, you're saying it depends on the religiosity of the family. Not much in your family. Religion is its own private thing, and when you're old enough, you can decide what you believe, or if not. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't so awkward if you just grew up with it. But there is something weird about it. Yeah. But anyways, okay, wait. Lakka is the name of a cheap alcohol. Could come from Oskalakka, which back in the day contained alcohol. It used to be the drink of the quote-unquote professionals, the Oskalakka. Well, wait, hold on. What is Oskalakka? Let me look that up. There's I think the closest thing I can think of in English. Oh, and maybe I didn't. Did I type that incorrectly? No, it's not Oska. Sorry. I'm dyslexic in Finnish. Oksalakka. Oksalakka. The nodding varnish. What the heck is nodding? What's the difference? Are there different types of varnish depending on whether the wood has a knot in it? Because oksa means a knot. Or, sorry, a branch. Is a bough or a bow? I never remember how to pronounce this. A boff. A boff. That's what. It could also be a boo if no. Anyways, yeah. Speaking of varnishes, I'm very you know what? Hold on. It's time for me to brag a little bit. Look at this. Look at this beautiful Chemex, by the way, which I restored. I've had this Chemex pretty much since I moved to Finland. And just over years and years of using it, the wood had started to lose its varnish. And so this was in a video that's no longer on my channel. Or I've privated the video, but I did like a coffee ASMR video. Do any of you remember that? I was such a creative spirit back in 2016. Nothing held me back. I didn't have critical voices in my head that were like, you know what, maybe that's not one that maybe you don't want your channel to be an ASMR channel. But I was like, I just want to try everything out, you know? And so, yeah, I made that video. But I'm not embarrassed about it, by the way, just so you know. But over the weekend, I went back. I took this apart, which is actually quite difficult. Like, this has like a leather strap that's really difficult to untie. And I thought of this because of the knot. You think I would think of this because of the varnish, because that was the main problem, but it was because I saw the word knot, and I remembered how difficult the leather knot was, and I didn't want to, like, I don't know, tear it. But, yeah. Oh, you can't hear that. I was trying to do some ASMR on it, but I've got, whatever, a filter on the microphone. And so I took the bamboo off, and I got some sandpaper. I sanded it down. And then I put some sunflower oil on it. And then I put some wax on it as well. So hopefully it will hold up. Just because I noticed there was like, yeah, a lot of lime scale had kind of, and the wood was kind of changing colors, and I'm like, I don't know. So now I look at it and I'm like, it looks so much better. It looks so clean. It looks so finished. But there you go. Okay. I will do anything to not practice Finnish, apparently. All right. This is a variety show. This is a talk show with a little Finnish practice scattered throughout. All right. So but okay, I got muted mid-sentence. Was it the microphone? Probably. Well, let me know if it keeps happening, and I could switch. You don't. Oh yeah, Juustoleipä. The name is just as bad in Finnish as English. Squeaky cheese. It becomes cheese bread in Finnish. Doesn't taste much, but the texture is annoying. Yeah. You prefer the Emmental cheese? I don't even know how to pronounce that. Emmental cheese? You could also try Lakka Liköri. Wait, no. Cloudberry licorice? Oh, that sounds like torture. I'll try it, probably. The pain... Polyon... Oh, Pat Perks is giving me some... I can just look at the sentence in Finnish and I'm like, there's no chance. Paljon pidetty maalivahti joutui rajun hyökkäyksen kohteeksi perjantai-iltana Helsingissä. Onneksi kyseessä oli jääkiekkoottelu. So it's like, fortunately, in the survey were hockey something. Ottelu. I don't know what ottelu means, but something about ice hockey. So yeah, a lot of pidetty. I should know that word, but I already forgot it. And then this maalivahti. Mali school is March. but I don't know what maalivahti. Oh my gosh. Huakasi doesn't Huakaus is like attack. Something on Fridays, Ilta, the Friday evening in Helsinki. Okay, hold on. I'm lost. I mean, I'm getting a few of the words. But let's see. A much-loved goalie was the target of a violent attack on Friday night in Helsinki. Luckily, it was an ice hockey game. You know, I actually thought maybe this was real. Well, as I was reading this, I am gullible, okay? I am, you know, and it's because I trust you guys. I moved to Finland because I thought this was a society built on trust. Boy, was I wrong. No, but yeah, it was a good joke. Thanks for that, Perks. Yeah, nudity in Finland is relatively tame. Although, JS, I have also noticed the sauna, being naked in the sauna thing is a bit over promoted, or it's made a big deal that you have to be naked in the sauna or it's offensive to Finnish people. But I've never seen that. And most people I know, if they go to the sauna like with their families, they wear like swimming trunks. Maybe not when they were little kids, you know, but once they became adolescent, they might have started wearing underwear, you know, or like if you're with friends, especially if it's like, you know, you've got people of whatever, it's a mixed sauna, then people will wear their like swimsuits or whatever clothes or some kind of covering. So at least in my experience, I have never encountered Finnish people who are like, you have to be naked. Yes, you have to be naked. And it's not creepy at all that we're enforcing this rule. But I mean, you people, yeah, I don't know. Like, people are probably pretty comfortable in those, like if it's a same-sex sauna and like a public sauna, but like typically I don't go to these saunas very often, but if I remember it typically tells you what you can and can't do. So it'll be like, in this sauna you have to wear, because it's a mixed one, so wearing clothes, or this sauna you can be totally naked. And they say it like that too. They make sure they put naked in italics on the sign, so that you're like, oh, okay, I'll be naked, but not that naked. I don't want to be emotionally naked. Perks, you remember watching the coffee vid? Wow. Well, thank you. Thanks for following. And DV, you have a vague memory of it as well. Lorelai, you don't remember that one. It was pretty old school. Yeah, it was a fun video, you know. It was a fun time, because at that point I was like, I just want to make as many videos as I can. And that was one idea. Imagine if I had become an ASMR streamer, and all my ASMR videos are just me having microphone technical difficulties. It's its own niche of ASMR, okay, for the microphone to cut in and out obnoxiously. It's like some ASMR is like people chewing, which to me is like the worst. Listening to someone eat is like the most uncomfortable. But some people like that, and I'm like, okay, I guess this can be anything. Licori is alcohol. Wait, why did I think it was licorice? Oh, DV, you want the tile SMR. Okay, I don't know how to say that. Tile SMR. But yeah. Leipa justo leipa. Can you say it both ways, Lorelei? Bread cheese or cheese bread? But the liquori is an alcoholic drink. Society, yes. Personal communications, not so much always. Is this for the underwear question, JS, or a different question? You should not wear underwear in the sauna, Lorelei is saying. Yeah, swimsuits. Yeah, I mean, I might consider some types of underwear like you know those like, it's like compression shorts. Like it's like the type of underwear that you wear in athletics. That, yeah, it has that like really, yeah, it's not like you're not wearing a cotton, you know, no. Swimsuits are fine. It's not that you must, it's just so very normal. Yeah, public saunas are different from family saunas. And in a swimming hall, you must not wear swimming trunks in the sauna because of the chlorine. Yeah. Still don't look at the definitions for lacca. You just got lost with lacquer. Wait, was I supposed to see more definitions for lacca? I didn't scroll down. Yeah, here's Cloudberry. And then here's another one. A synonym of lavo. A canopy? Or an attic, a loft? Another definition could be a dovecote. What is a dovecote? A small house or box often raised to a considerable height above the ground and having compartments, pigeonholes, in which domestic pigeons breed. A dove house. I didn't know that. A dovecote. That's a beautiful word in English. Dovecote. And there's more. Lacca is also a type of drug. GBL, liquid ecstasy. All right. Well, there you go. Yeah, society is built on trust, JS. Perks. Laccarate. Wait. Is that also like a doctor? Laccarate. Varoitavat. It's like the doctors are warning. Pakkasnesteen. Why do I think this is something about... Oh, I actually don't know. Nautimisesta. Oh, I should know that. It's about enjoying. They warn against enjoying this. Pakkasnesteen. Siitä tulee hyytävät oireet. It becomes hyytävät. I don't know. Oire. I'm Hey, I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. Doctors warn against drinking antifreeze. It causes chilling symptoms. That's what it is. Okay, antifreeze. Wait, let me look this up. Man, this stream is going to get taken down. I mean, we started with like pommi, and then we had like a lacca for like an ecstasy. We looked up expletives. I mean, I guess it's not really against the terms of service or anything. And now we're looking up antifreeze. They're like, oh man, what's going on? It's a language live stream, all right? And I can't help it. My chat is But I was curious, what is Neste? Yeah, this is liquid. I knew it was, I was thinking maybe it was like related to oil because the company, Neste, is an oil company. But yeah, liquid or fluid. It doesn't have to be just oil. So yeah, this is where pakkas, which is like frost. You get your frost fluid, which we call antifreeze in English. And earlier we were talking about lakata, which means both to stop or cease, but also to apply lacquer. Lakata, such as maalata, to paint. Okay, let's hop into the Selko uutisat, or the final boss. Työelämä. Work life. Sitten aiheena työelämä. The next piece of news is about work life. Monet ihmiset sanovat, että heillä on töissä kova kiire. Many people say that they are... Heillä on töissä kova kiire. That they are in a big rush at work. I don't know if I'm translating that for the meaning exactly, but that's that's what I see here. That they are in a big hurry, or that they are very busy at work. Maybe that's the better definition. Like they aren't like, yeah, in a rush to get to work, but they're just really busy at work. Kiire. I don't know that word. That's a new one. Maybe I should write stuff down. My brain is so resistant right now. The idea of writing anything down. Do you ever just feel like you're dragging yourself to do the things that you're supposed to do? Because I kind of feel that way with Finnish. All right, tiistai. What is today? The 4th. March the 4th be with you. And as you said earlier, your pronunciation is so good, it gives an impression you're very fluent with Finnish, JS. Usually that good. There are some oddities, though, like fork. I don't even know. Yeah, wait, hold on. I know there's fork, but then there's also the bird. Harakka. Harukka? Harakka. Or is it harakka? Or is it harakka? It's not that one. It's not. I would remember if it was like a long A in the middle. But thank you for the compliment on my pronunciation. I'm trying. Kirein would be the genitive of kire. Okay, I guess then I shouldn't be so surprised. 4/3/2025. By the way, I just had this thought that I was thinking about earlier, how I was like complaining. Today, I got so frustrated because I needed to fill out a form that I'm sending back, to the US for something. And the form is a PDF. I pull it up in my Adobe Acrobat Reader or whatever. But there's no option for me to just edit the PDF directly, to just fill in the blanks. And I'm losing my mind. I'm like, I even tried to upload the PDF to Canva, which is one of this. Yeah, I use Canva to make the thumbnails for these videos. And you can edit there, but Canva converts everything to text and it changes the PDF. And this is like a government form. And I'm like, I don't want them to receive a form that looks different from the official form, even if the font has changed, and the spacing of the words is not the same. Like, I don't think it would matter that much, but I could see somebody being like, no, this isn't right. Sorry. So I got so frustrated, and then I was like, well, I got it good enough. I downloaded it, and then I pulled it back up in Adobe PDF Reader because there's an option to sign the document. So I go to sign it, and then once I sign the document, it gives me the option to add text, to literally edit the document, which is all I wanted to do. But why would you click on the sign option before editing it? The signing is the last thing that you would do. Why would you be allowed to edit the document after signing it as well? I guess you're technically signing it while editing it. I guess that's the idea. I don't know. But anyways, well, the good news is that I was able to fill out the document in its original PDF, whatever. But I just wanted to complain a little bit. I know that was really pointless and the most uninteresting part of my life. Okay, Kiren. What the heck am I doing here? Kiren tunne. Something about the busies or a hurry's hour. Tunne. Wait. Hold on a second. Tunne. I thought this would be like tunti, which is an hour. But tunne, I have no idea what that is. Anyways, maybe I'll write that. Kiren tunne. And we'll translate that later. Työelämässä on yleisempi kuin ennen. So at work, or in work life, työelämässä, on yleisempi is generally, or is more common, because this is comparative, right? Is more common than before, kuin ennen. Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of like being busy at work in your work life, having a busy time at work. We'll see. I don't know if tunne comes from tunti, but maybe. Jo useampi kuin joka kolmas työntekijä sanoo, että heillä kiire on ongelma töissä. Näin kertoo tutkimus. So this is saying, like, some research tells us this. Already, useampi. Usea is one of these words I always forget the meaning of. And for some reason, I think it means something like amazing. But no, upea. Is upea amazing? Wait, useampi is from usein, often. All right, I'm still going to write it down. But here it's saying already more often than kuin joka kolmas, than every third employee says. It's not really more often. Does it just mean like more? Is it like just saying more than 1/3 of employees say that they are busy, that their busyness is a problem at work? So the research tells us, or so the research reports. Harukka, harakka. And I know harukka is the fork, and harakka is the bird. Wait, what kind of bird is the harakka? Is that the raven? Or is that a different bird? A crow? No, I don't know. Or is it a magpie? It's a magpie. The magpie. Which is like it is a corvid, right? Yeah, magpies, ravens, and jackdaws. I see all the time around here. Yeah, you once had to print out a thing, sign it, scan, and mail it. It's like, welcome to America, where everything has to be done by mail with a physical check. You have to write a actual handwritten check. You can't even get handwritten checks for bank accounts in Finland. But in America, you have to write these checks. Yeah, it's annoying. I mean, you don't. It is changing because like now, if you do things electronically, you can pay online. But then there are certain times where you have to actually mail something in with a check. But yeah. Usein is often. Usea is many. So I was right when I said usea. But I wasn't right with the translation. So useampi. Already many more than a third of employees. It's kind of awkward to say it that way in English, but that's basically the literal meaning, right? Okay, wait, let's continue. Menneisyydessä kiire oli ongelma etenkin työssä. No idea what this menneisyydessä means. So in it, well, essä means it is in. Yeah, I don't know. In something. Kire. I don't know how to translate kire, but we'll see. I think it just means busyness. Busyness was a problem etenkin tehdastyössä. What is tehdastyössä? Is that like production? Is that factory work? Is that maybe what that means? And etenkin, I don't know what that. I should know what that means. Does that mean like however or moreover? Kuitenkin is however. Etenkin, furthermore, moreover. It's not a raven. A raven is korppi, yeah, and crow is varis. And then tulevaisuudessa is in the future. So menneisyydessä, does that mean in the past? Yeah, checks for a thing in the past, and then you guys went digital. Yeah, here in Finland, it's so much easier. Like, I love that you can access everything just using your bank account credentials. Like, oh, it's much easier. It's kind of funny that despite everything being in Finnish, it's easier. It's somehow still easier than doing it in English in America. And maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but yeah. Yeah, the menneisyydessä is the opposite of tulevaisuudessa. So in the past. Checks were so weird even like 30 years ago. We had traveler's checks and you did get a couple from school. Wait, why did you get them from school? Tehdastyössä is not a proper spelling. No need for the hyphen because tehdas is not a proper noun. Huh. Well, we are catching lots of little mistakes. Remember last time there was an extra word that was repeated? Maybe they are hyphenating for Selko. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're doing that to make it look easier. I don't know. I see a hyphen in it and I just immediately panic. I'm like, oh no. It's like missing a free throw. It's supposed to be easier, but it's like the hardest shot. Yeah. Yeah, and bank transfers are instantaneous now between different banks. I didn't know that actually it was... I don't know, that it was up to date like that. Because I remember the days, and yeah, it took a few days between different banks. It's like the bank is like so... Like, oh, we're asking too much to transfer like 20 euros. The bank is like, we don't have that kind of, you know, liquidity in our system to be able to handle a 20 euro transfer. You're going to have to wait at least 3 business days. All right. That puts an unfair burden on us as financiers. That throws off our investment strategy. Oh, and hey, Riseli. Welcome in. Maybe you were here earlier and I forgot to say hi, but good to see you again. You were such an awesome student. They gave you the traveler's check. They paid. Did they just pay you? Here's a check. But they still do those giant checks, you know, for like winning a competition. You know, if you're like the champion of like the Scrabble World Championship, they gotta you get to stand there with the check. These things just grind your gears, DV. It's fine to make these conventions if they carry them out consistently. I agree. No checks, we call them stipends. But they gave you the stipend as a physical check. Because that would be kind of weird. But anyways, okay, let me keep translating here. Hold on a second. Hold up a minute. Nykyään kiire on kovatoimistotyössä ja esimerkiksi hoitoalalla. Nowadays, busyness is hard in the office work. And for example, the healthcare, or is that how? Because I know hoito is like care, like caregiving, you know, like healthcare, and then ala is a field. In the healthcare field, or is this a more narrow type of field? Like it's not all of healthcare, but it's like caregiving. In the caregiving field, like specifically those people who are caregivers, which may actually include just family members and not like whatever. Anyways, moving on. In the care sector, Lorelei says, yeah. These stipends are when you leave school for the most awesome students. Riseli, humble bragging over here. See, in America, it's the opposite. If you're the best student, you get to pay the highest tuition at the best school. You get to go to the best school. No, I mean, there are scholarships for Americans. But hoito versus hoiva. What does hoiva mean? Is that like health? But okay, wait, hold on. Moving on. Ihmisillä on töissä kiire useammin kuin ennen. People have a busy... I don't know the best translation of this, but it basically means that people are busier at work more than before. But the literal translation is like, two people is at work busyness more than before. Tutkija sanoo, research says, että tietokoneet, that computers ja muut digitaaliset laitteet tuovat lisää kiirettä työelämään. That computers and other digital devices, right? Didn't we have this word? There was someone in chat a while ago who called themselves like a device, or they used this word to describe a device junkie, like somebody who is always trying to get the newest gadget, the newest iPhone or the newest whatever. But it's not just laite or whatever. There was some other word attached to it. It was a compound word for those people. Anyways, something about other digital devices. Tuovat. Tuoda. Doesn't that mean like... Does it mean to like organize? Why do I think it means something like that? They do something more kiirettä, more busyness to work life. They bring. Oh, I know tuora because I remember this is one of the first words I learned on Memrise. And there was a meme of tuora with a court, a judge. And the judge is in Boston, where they talk with a bit of an accent. And they bring the court tuora. But my brain doesn't remember the meme correctly. So instead of thinking tuora as bring to order, I think of tuora as to order. Which is not... Oh. Yeah. Anyways. Hoitoala is healthcare field. Hoiva-ala is a care field. And yeah, tuora is to bring. Yeah, learn the wrong thing. Yeah, I remember the meme at least. Okay, let's translate. Let's see what we can do here. Working life. Then the topic of working life. Monet ihmiset sanovat. Many people say that they are very busy at work. Että heillä on töissä kova kiire. Yeah. That they are very busy. It's awkward for me to translate because I want to translate literally like they have at work a big hurry. But it's, yeah, being busy isn't quite the same as being in a hurry. I mean, it's kind of the same, but it's a bit different, you know. The feeling of being busy in working life is more common than before. Oh, tunne is a feeling. All right. I'm going to write this down. I wrote, kiireen tunne will say the feeling of being busy. God, it's so much better to write in English. My hand just knows exactly what to write. And then I try to write in Finnish, and it's like, oh, how many dots do I have to put above? How many double vowels and double consonants is possible? I'm just saying, my natural state rebels, okay? I'm like Tom Sawyer in school. I don't like it. I want to be out on the Mississippi. I need to reread those books. I haven't read Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn since I was a kid. I think that would be a good thing. I've thought about rereading it. But, yeah. But I don't know. What are you guys reading right now? I know it's kind of a random question, but I recently finished... Here, I'll show you the book. The Magicians. And not the show. The book. Yeah, this book, The Magicians. And I read this book back in like 2016 or 2015 maybe. Like right when I moved to Finland, I got this book. And I remember enjoying it a lot more than I did rereading it. I don't know, the characters are just kind of like... You know, I like the only way I can describe it is it feels like the author is trying so hard to make all of his characters edgy, and it just comes across like fake, you know, it just like, and unfortunately it persists in so many ways throughout the book, like the way the characters talk to each other and like treat each other. I'm like, I almost wonder if the author ever had normal friendships. like people aren't this weird. You're like, I know it's about magicians and they get to go to like Narnia basically, but like I don't know. The characters bothered me more this time rereading it. But yeah, I read this and I was a bit bummed. But I've also been wanting to read Charles Dickens. I in high school I remember enjoying A Tale of Two Cities, but I never read any of Dickens' other works. And so I got David Copperfield from the library, and it's a huge book. So I haven't started it yet, but yeah, I might read that next. I don't know. Do I have other books? What are you guys reading? You finished 2 days ago Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut. Yeah, I haven't read much by Kurt Vonnegut, if anything. I'm trying to remember Kurt Vonnegut. Was there like a road trip book by him that was called something? I can't. Or did he write the book that was like Slaughterhouse something? I don't know if I read it though. And JS, you haven't read a book in some time now. Grown as a person, or you've read more stuff since then. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't bother me as much. I think part of why, and I think part of what drew me back to the book, I can say this, is the concept is so fascinating to me personally. The idea that these magicians discover like a real Narnia. That Narnia isn't just some place where like these little kids go to from C.S. Lewis, but that actually it's some other dimension that's accessible through using magic. And it's also a bit more adult, where instead of like Harry Potter, the kids go to, the kids go to magical university and they study magic more like, I don't know, as like a more advanced kind of topic, not something you would let children learn. Which was pretty good, but also, and this is another point of frustration for me, I felt like the author didn't really like the university that he created. Like, one of the great things about the Harry Potter books is you feel like you're at Hogwarts, and you live the academic year with the students, and like there's all these traditions, and like Brakebills is the name of the magical university. Brakebills is so unmemorable. Like, nothing interesting happens at this university. Like, basically, the author just skips all 4 years of their university, like as quickly as possible. Like, and it kind of like takes the charm out of it. And I understand, like, it's not meant to be like, oh, Brakebills is like so like Hogwarts. You want to go to Hogwarts. Like, you wouldn't necessarily want to go to Brakebills because it's not as nice and cozy of a place, I guess. But like, there's still so much that could be interesting about it. That would be like the student experience that he kind of just skips over and almost intentionally avoids, because he chooses to write the characters in a way where they intentionally ostracize themselves. And like, it's sort of almost like, well, I don't know, creatively that was not a good decision. It didn't feel like it improved the character development. It just felt like the author didn't want to be bothered with having to figure out a more interesting, Brakebills backstory or anything. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I just thought of this again. But yeah, I've grown, and certain things bothered me more on the reread. But it is really interesting that they go to this Narnia land, and it turns out it's not like, the way it was presented in the children's books. It was much darker. There's, and it's interesting. It had some interesting hooks that kept me reading, but yeah. Wait, you read a lot last year, JS, which was more than in the previous 20 years. Hey, cool. Congrats. What did you read last year? You've been reading study stuff, Lorelai. Yeah, I know it can be hard when you're studying to also to read just for fun as well. Yeah, my brain has changed. My aesthetic taste has evolved. The author has soured your and many else attitude towards anything Potter. Wait, do you mean J.K. Rowling, or do you mean this author, Lev Grossman? I know, yeah, a lot of people aren't fans of Harry Potter because of Rowling's shenanigans. You read all the books by Seppo Jokinen. I don't know Seppo Jokinen. Yeah, it was Rowling for you, JS. Yeah. But I love going back and rereading books. Last year I reread Lord of the Rings, and that was like such a emotionally satisfying experience. And I've been listening to the audiobooks of the Song of Ice and Fire series, and oh my god, I love it. I think it's so masterfully written. I'm enjoying it a lot. Jokinen is a local author writing detective books, situated locally as well. Detective stuff I've been getting into as well. I was watching the Sherlock BBC series with Martin Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch, and was enjoying that. But and then I was thinking I should read the original by Arthur Conan Doyle, because he wrote the novels and a bunch of short stories. It might be nice to go back and reread that. I'm going back to like the 1800s. I feel like there was a lot of great literature that came out in the 1800s, and there's a lot that I want to revisit. Oh no, you sense a Lord of the Rings rant commencing, DV. Okay, it ended before it started. Well, now that you mention it, I had something on my chest I wanted to get out there. Actually, I had the most incredible experience. I met somebody on Monday, and after the meeting, we were walking in the same direction, and we were just kind of chatting. And I had mentioned, of course I brought up the fact that I was a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I don't remember why it made sense in that context. And then he goes, "Oh, really? Me too." And then I said, "Oh, nice to meet a fellow like Tolkien fan." And I go, "Ellen si la lumeno mentielvo." And without hesitation, he was like, "Yeah, a star shines upon the hour of our meeting." And it was like, yes, he passed the test. I don't want all these fake fans out here who've never studied even the slightest bit of Quenya. All right, get out of here with your Harry Potter. Take your Harry Potter books and be gone. Okay. Go off to Hogwarts and study a few years before you're ready to tackle the beautiful intricacy of the Lord of the Rings world. Okay, but yeah, there you go. There's my rant. But it was pretty fun, yeah, that he knew the Elvish words. Some central characters through the books, and they develop along a couple of decades he's written about them. Oh, okay. He's like revisiting characters across multiple books. Sounds pretty cool. Have I read any Finnish classics in English? Seitsemän veljestä, or there's the Egyptian, right? I have to admit, I see those books staring at me. Whenever I visit the library and I go through like the English books, there's always the English translations of a lot of these books. And it's on my list of things to read. I get so caught up in reading these big tomes, I pick up David Copperfield, and it's like goodbye to the next 4 months, So I've been wanting to read The Seven Brothers and The Egyptian, and I don't know, and also the Kalevala. I know a lot of the Kalevala, but I haven't actually sat and read from start to finish the whole text. Like like most Finnish people, who have never read it. But yeah, I would like to go. And yeah, especially, is it Alexis Kivi? Yeah, Seitsemän Veljestä was like the first and most important novel in the Finnish language. But also he lived a kind of a sad life, if I remember. Like he had some problems and died, I think, kind of young. I don't remember actually. But there's a statue of him in front of the National Theater on the east side of the train station, if you know where the theater is. I've actually never been in the National Theater. That's another thing. I need to go and see a production in this theater. That would be pretty fun. But yeah, anyways, Alastalon, Salisa in English would be a thing. Might as well read Ulysses then, I think. Oh my God, Ulysses. I haven't read that. Although I have a friend who said it was his favorite book. But this friend is also a friend who, like, studies Shakespeare. It's like, but Shakespeare's actually, I've been wanting to go back and reread Shakespeare. Like the plots and the characters of Shakespeare are so good. But yeah, Ulysses is one of those like complex books. I think I read James Joyce's. Is it Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man? Was that James Joyce? Or am I getting... I think I get a lot of these confused because I read them in these courses in university where we read like 6 books in a few weeks, But yeah. Good anecdote, not a rant. Thank you, DV. Oh, you should borrow Baskervillen Koira, the Selko version. Oh, there's like an easy Finnish version of The Hound of Baskerville. I saw the Sherlock version of it. The new, I say it's new, but it's like 10 years ago they made this, but yeah. Sinuhe. You've started it a couple times. JS, you haven't read Seitsemän Veljestä. You listened to the audiobook. And Lorelai, you've only read Seitsemän Veljestä of those. Alexis Kivi. Yep. You were doing Runeberg and such. What is this? Van Rikki Stoll. DV. I read Seitsemän Veljestä in high school. Didn't enjoy it. Oh yeah. It would be fun to read. Yeah, I should read them and like make a book report and like make a video that's like a book report, a review of Finland's literature. It is one of these funny things where what is it about when a book becomes very popular or very meaningful and it starts to encompass more than simply being a book, it's I see it a lot with books like we have this example in what I think of as like The Great Gatsby. A lot of people look at The Great Gatsby and they're like people love it because of all the things that are kind of wrong with it. like maybe they don't see the criticism of like the American dream. Instead, they see it almost as if like the book is promoting the American dream. And I'm like, I don't think you've read it. I don't think you read it correctly. I don't want to say that my interpretation is the only one that's correct, but I'm pretty sure yours is like wrong, or you're like only approaching it in the most superficial of ways, Or they view a Gatsby's love of Daisy as a good thing, and I'm sort of like I don't know. Sometimes I'm like confused by that. I'm like, he was like obsessed with her. Like it wasn't a healthy thing for him. And he like almost yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go into like the literary criticism here, but I'm just kind of baffled when people like take a totally different view and they use it to justify like national ideas about like America and the American dream and the pursuit of happiness. And sometimes you'll see this. I've seen this now with like some Finnish stuff, you know, like Tuve Jansson and Aki Kaurismäki, you know, his films that he just made. He didn't make them to say anything about the Finnish experience, you know, or like to represent Finland. And he's like actually quite resentful or at least frustrated when people put those sort of expectations on him to be a Finnish icon or whatever. Especially since Finnish people didn't like his movies until foreigners started liking his movies. And then it was suddenly really cool that he was Finnish, because in a similar way, like Tuve Jansson was like very skeptical of the commercialization of the Moomins. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you guys can see some other good examples of that. You have Seitsemän Koiraveljestä next to you right now. Is that the Maurikunnas version, JS? That's the one I need to read. 100 times more approachable stuff than Aku Ankka, in which they use ultra-inventive language. Wait. Which one? Oh, the Korean Kalevala. Oh, DV, you said it earlier. Sorry, I'm jumping around in chat, so I'm missing some of the things you guys are saying. Oh, Catcher in the Rye. That's another great one. I love Catcher in the Rye. It's sad, but it taps into that. It taps into a feeling. That we all kind of have, a coming of age disillusionment, you know. But yeah, okay, DV, yeah, you said Maurikunnas earlier. Yeah. Hey, but be proud of me that I saw the Koira version and I thought, Maurikunnas, right? I know a few things about life here in Finland. Korean Kalevala. Yeah, I need to check those out. I did read the Aku Ankka Quest for the Kalevala in English, not in not in the Finnish. We tried reading some Aku Ankka in Finnish, but it was so difficult. I was like, yeah, it was too much. But wait, did I finish translating all this? I mean, you guys are giving me a lot of good books and ideas here in chat. I don't want to ignore you. And hey, Elder Scrolls Swimmer, what's up? How are you? Welcome in. You're saying perhaps Maurikunnas. Oh, the language isn't that simple. Might be a false memory. Perps, if you were stuck on a remote island for a year, but you could have one book with you, what would it be? Probably a survival book, right? I mean, any book that would give me like activities to do on this island that would improve the quality of my life. Then I would probably have that. I don't know what it would be, but anything like little things that, yeah, building shelters and how to make a rope, how to, I don't know, yeah, how to make fires. Of course, I learned a lot of this in Boy Scouts, but like having a book for that would be good. But assuming that like I have everything I need and blah blah blah, I would probably pick. I would probably pick the Song of Ice and Fire series. If I can take all of the books and put them, like, they're sold as one big set. If I can have the set of books, that's what I would want to read. Because that would keep me really busy. And it would, importantly, take my mind away from being stuck on an island. And it would remind me of, like, human society and human nature and, yeah. Maybe in a way it would make me be thankful that I'm only stuck on an island in the real world and not on an island in Westeros. So it would probably be way worse in Westeros. A dragon would come and eat me off the island. A kraken would come get me. Janssen, not Janssen. Hiss, Lorelei. You have these distinctions, but in English they're pronounced exactly the same. Jansen, Janssen, Janssen, Jansson, Jansson. About the Moomins, there's a tram in rotation in Tampere with Moomin Museum decor. It's a big year for the Moomins. It's like, is it the 85th anniversary? No, 80th. The 80th anniversary of the first publication of the Moomins. I know there's a few articles on the website that I've been published on, the Finland.fi website, if you're interested. I might try and get an article on the Moomins. Let's see, though. Let's see if they accept any of my ideas. But yeah, on that note, I am writing more articles. And so I'll share them with you when they come out. But yeah, I'm looking forward. I've been enjoying writing a bit more, and that's been nice. Are there good translations of the Kalevala? Probably some decent ones, right? You've studied African studies, and you know Swahili, DV. And when you were in Tanzania, you found a Swahili version of the Kalevala. That's pretty cool. And it was properly written in the Kalevala meter, which was amazing. Wow. That's really cool. Quite a also for you to just come across the Swahili version while you were in Tanzania. Very cool. They're auctioning some Moomin drawings, or the first sketches Duva did. And JS, you like the cat tram? My favorite tram is the cough tram in Helsinki. The beer tram. Because it's so weird and cool. It's the one tram that you just get on and you're just like, you're literally just riding the tram for the experience of the tram. All these other trams are like about getting from point A to B. But the cough tram is about the journey. It is about the experience, right? And you get on there and you can order a beer or a wine or whatever. And then you sit there and drink your beverage of choice, feeling like this elite member of society. And especially because as you pull through all of the stops, because you don't stop at the stops, right? But people waiting at the stop are like, what the cough tram? They're like, what is this? Cough is the name of like the big sort of alcohol, one of the big alcohol companies in Finland, and they make a beer, and it tastes basically like it sounds. Not a great beer. Look, no, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm insulting it by saying that. I think that's a fair assessment. It's drinkable, but yeah. Anyways, you feel really great being on this cough tram. And it's one of the few exceptions to the alcohol marketing regulations, because it's very strictly regulated here, that you can't put alcohol advertisements in public, except for this tram, because the tram and I think also like Cough has like that horse-drawn carriage. I don't know if you guys have seen that around Helsinki. And it has whatever the label or whatever, the logo of Cough on it. And I think the only reason those are exceptional is because they were grandfathered in when the law was written. They're like, please don't take away our cough tram. But if you're ever interested, it's not even that expensive. It's like 11 euros for like a 45-minute trip around Helsinki. And then you have to pay extra for whatever you drink. If you drink, you don't have to get a drink. And by the way, my favorite tram in Helsinki is still the Tram Museum. It's free and it's so nice. It's like such a low stress museum. You know, when you're in a museum and you're just like stressed out, kids are screaming, tourists are everywhere, and you're looking at art and you're like, what the heck am I even, what is this? The Tram Museum, none of that BS. Okay, everything has a place, has a purpose. You get to see the evolution of Helsinki and Finland through the lens of public transportation. It's super educational and it's super interesting because they have examples of all the trams that you can go in, and you can like walk on the trams. Actually, the last time I was there were kids going crazy, so I take that back. Kids like to get on the tram, and the first thing they do when they get in the tram is they scream at the top of their lungs, just to check the echo ability. What is it with children, man? Shut up. Shut up. Are you echolocating yourself inside of the... Are you bursting all the eardrums of every adult who happens to be inside this tiny little cubicle with you? But otherwise, actually, it's a very well-curated museum. It tells the story really well and succinctly. It's not a museum that takes very long to go through. Okay, I've rambled and ranted. I've probably ranted about the Tram Museum in the past, but it's my favorite. Oh, you found that book, the Swahili one, close to the Finnish embassy at a bookshop. That's pretty cool. The first drawing is 80 years old. She used to include an unnamed character in drawings in a magazine. Really? Oh, I'll check out your puppy photo, Reselly, in the Discord later. Oh, she was going to Japan to negotiate about the off-brand Moomin series. I didn't know that there was an off-brand one. And you put a cat tram pic. Yeah, please share these pictures. Tram museum surroundings are also nice. One of the nicest terraces during the summer. Yeah, true. That area. I forget the name of it. It's like I was going to say it's like a cultural area of some kind, but it's cool. They're going to talk about the Turku tram lines again, why they removed them. And yeah, perks. There is a tram museum in Helsinki. Definitely put it on your list. It's free, at least as far as I remember. Korjaamo is the name. Thank you, DV. Yeah, that's the area. That's a cool place. Cool area. Okay, let me get back to what I was trying to do here. Before I was so rudely interrupted, I would like to point out that I am very diligent and I work very hard, and I am only not achieving as much Finnish progress because you guys are distracting me. See, this is what I've learned in life. Never take accountability. If you want to become a leader, especially a world leader, never take accountability. Always blame other people. And just be angry. There you go. Okay, but don't really do it. Don't be like that. Turns out the real world is worse than Game of Thrones. But that's a where were we? The feeling of being busy. Kiirentunne is more common than before, on yleisempi kuin ennen. Yes. The feeling of being busy. Yeah, it's kind of, I think I was kind of struggling with kiire because I was like, busyness is maybe the closest word I could come up with. The feeling of busyness. More than 1 in 3 employees. Jo useampi kuin. So it's like, it just more than, I don't know. It's sort of like many more than. Have I been advising a certain world leader recently? Well, come to my lecture series, all right? And rule number 1, no compassion or empathy. In fact, that's a weakness. All right, get that out of your system. Okay, we leave, other other self-help programs, they say we leave our ego at the door. It's the opposite, okay? We amplify our ego to fill the space wherever we walk, okay? Leave your empathy at the door. That Oh man. Okay. I don't want to we're not ranting about that too much, okay? Where were we? Oh, more than 1 in 3 employees already says that being busy is a problem at work. Että heillä kiire on ongelma töissä. Yeah, it's like I'm just kind of thinking about this. Heillä. You would say like heillä on kiire, meaning they are busy or in a rush. But then here it's saying heillä kiire on ongelma. So it's like to them, busyness is a problem at work. To them or for them. Yeah, that is what the study says. Näin kertoo tutkimus. Menneisyydessä, in the past, being busy was a problem. Kiire oli ongelma, etenkin tehdastyössä. Especially etenkin. I'm going to write that down. I know I've written that down before because I recognize that now. Etenkin. Especially. My handwriting just completely evaporated. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh, my body is sore. My body is a wonderland. Well, that's what the songs tell me. Yeah, you used to live next door to the tram museum, really? That's well, nice. That's a little coincidence there. That's cool. It's a nice area. But oh wait, I'm already behind. I know I missed so many things in chat. It's going to be warmer than usual until May. It's already quite warm. Yeah, it's well, like January was weirdly warm, and then February it got really cold again. And now it's kind of warmed up. Yeah, it's like +5. -16 was the lowest for UJS. Yeah, it didn't get very cold this year. I remember a few years ago it was like -23 or more. Yeah, we usually get a few days where it's like -20 something during the day. But I don't feel like we've had that this year or even last year. I don't remember having a crazy cold day like that. But okay, where was I? Etenkin tehdastyössä, especially in factory work. I was right. Factory work, like manufacturing. Nykyään kiire on kova. So today, being busy or busyness is very common in office work. Yeah, okay. And for example, in the care sector. Esimerkiksi hoitoalalla. In the care sector. Ihmisillä on töissä kiire useammin kuin ennen. Yeah, people are busy at work more often than before. Yeah. I'm trying to think of other literal translations of like people have busyness, or yeah, for people is at work busy. No, I'm making it worse. But yeah, I think I got that. Useammin is more often. I'm a dum-dum. I remember earlier in chat, I said Usain, and then someone said, no, it's Usea. But Usain is also Usea. It's just another form of it, right? They both come from the same root. Usea meaning often. Let's double check it. Let's double Usea. Usea meaning many, several, a lot. And does it have derived terms? It does not have Usain as a derived term. So maybe it's not. But let's actually look here at the inflections just to see. Usain, instructive. Boom. Right? Finnish, Usain. Usain Bolt. He wins very often. Yeah, it's usually minus 25 for a few days at least. In Lappi, it was cold this winter too. It was like minus 30. Kiire, juostaan pää kolmantena jalkana niin, että hommat ei oikeastaan toimi. That's too advanced for me. I'm going to translate it down here. Hurry. Running around with your head on the third leg so that things don't really work out. Yeah. Että hommat. I want to see the dictionary. The ropes. So that the ropes don't really work. Oikeastaan. Ei toimi. It doesn't work. I don't know this. This is so confusing. Like, oikeastaan. I don't understand why the on ending is here. Like, oikeasti. But there's someone is going to be like, it's because in Finnish, it's not just that it works out correctly. It has to work in the correct direction. All right. Is it by the correct means? Is it with the correct attitude? Or is it from or to or around, on or beneath the correctivity? Welcome to the Finnish language. Oh, and Thursday it's going to be plus 10 for you, Lorelei. Wow. Head as the third leg. Yeah. Jalkana in this case would be like as the leg, right? As the third leg. Not just that it's on the third leg. But wait, where were we? Yeah. We did this in the last, we were on our last sentence anyway. Tutkijasano, the researcher says that computers and other digital devices, I got that, laitteet, are bringing more rush to working life. Tuovat, tuoda, bring tuoda. Lisää kiirettä, more rush, or more busyness. It's the same thing, it's just kiire. But kiirettä is the partitive. And then to working life. That's why we're in this the double ending. Check Wiktionary for oikeastaan. It's different from oikeasti. Okay, let's do that. That is a good piece of advice. When in doubt, check Wiktionary. How did Tolkien learn languages without Wiktionary? You know what? I'm convinced if Tolkien was born today, he would never write Lord of the Rings. Because he would just be on Wiktionary all day. He would just be like, oh my gosh, every word. I can read about every word. Oikestan is actually, in fact, the stan ending forms some adverbs, particularly with a locative meaning. This has nothing to do with location. Forms adverbs from numerals, meaning with n people or in a group of n people. Huh. I don't know. Is it just idiomatic? Because I don't think either of these applies to Oikestan. Ainoastan. Only. I think I remember learning this one on Memorize as well, and I think it had a Stannis. Like, I know a Stan. I know a Stan. He's the only Stan I know. It was something like that. I think there was another one that had like Stannis Baratheon from Game of Thrones. But yeah. Well, actually, Oikeastaan. No, is that how you would say it in Finnish? No, Oikeastaan. Yeah, the idioms are the hardest to learn. True. But yeah, it just takes practice. It takes a little practice. Yeah, rushing it tends to produce a sloppy end result. Trying to then fix sloppy work creates more rush. True. Yeah, being busy. I'm pretty grateful that my life isn't that busy. You know? It's not too crazy. Like, especially with the writing that I've been doing, just sort of freelance. I've really enjoyed writing these articles and researching the different buildings and the history of Helsinki and the history of architecture in Finland. It's a lot of fun to do that and then to put it together into an article. But yeah. Yeah, in those cases, JS, it doesn't really apply the STAAN ending. Kolmestaan applies to a group of N people. And in some workplaces, people do the work of 3 people that won't get employed. Yeah, it really seems to be the trend that a lot of people, 10 years ago, they worked in an office that had like, twice as many employees. And it's like they still have to do all the same amount of work, but now it's just everyone is so overworked, or like everyone is so stressed out, or they just have to be satisfied with doing bad work because, like, maybe, I don't know, in that field it isn't such a big deal to produce bad work. It's a shame because the people working, they don't want to produce bad work, but they're sort of forced to. And that really sucks. But yeah, it sometimes actually makes more work, this being sloppy, and it's, yeah. JS, you're happy with your life busyness being non-existent? Dude, yeah, because like your busyness is like becoming a like super intelligent gamer. Like you've played every game. Did you post in the Discord that you also played Animal Well? Because I saw a documentary about Animal Well, about the guy that made it, who's from Chicago, and that was a pretty cool little documentary. But yeah, and also that seems like a game I would really enjoy. A game with lots of little secrets. I mean, I need to try it. But yeah, you're like a full-time game influencer, you know, studying games. And yeah, games are a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying Terraria, by the way. If you're in, we're gonna wrap up the Finnish stream here in a few minutes, by the way, because it's almost 9 o'clock. And I was just gonna mention, on Thursdays I do a gaming stream, and we've been doing some Terraria streams, and I also stream on other days sometimes if I have time and I feel like it. And people have been so nice giving me tips. That's one of the things I really like about games, or at least the community so far around Terraria has been really nice. Like, people are like, oh, did you know you could do this? And it doesn't spoil the game. It just makes the game more fun, because it's like they're teaching you a little trick that makes you can play the game in a new or interesting way that wasn't obvious to you initially. Yeah, that's and it's a good game. Terraria is also just like such a good game. It's so fun to go cave diving, which is the complete opposite of real life. I don't know. I have this strange fascination / dare I say an addiction to watching cave diving disaster videos. And it's not good for me. It's like I don't like watching horror movies. I hate horror movies. But my version of the horror experience is watching these little mini documentaries where they're like, John was a millionaire and had 5 children, and was living the life of his dreams until one day he decided to enter the Nutty Putty Cave. The cave also has to have like the most unassumingly goofy name, like Nutty Putty. The Nutty Putty Cave system, carved out over millennia of water dripping through the caverns. You know, and it's like they get stuck and they die or something terrible. Yeah. And then YouTube is like, oh, you want to watch another one of those, don't you? Here you go. And I just like, I have to keep watching them. You know, and then you watch like a few hours of these videos, and then like the rest of the day, you're just sort of in this weird funk, because you're like, man, that would really suck. Like, and that's real. It's like people actually died. That's really sad and terrifying. But also, what the heck? Why would you go into a cave? It's like, why? Yep, seems like a fun idea, you know? Yeah, a lot of them will, some of them are like just people going into caves, like, that are dry. And then most of them I watch are probably about cave divers, like people diving into caves. And it's always like, Rick, literally one of the videos was about this guy who literally wrote the book on cave diving safety. The guy who wrote the book on cave diving safety died cave diving. Like, what does that say? My gosh, like, that's pretty crazy. It's not a hobby I would ever want to pick up. I'll watch the BBC documentary. Like, you could send a robot down there with a camera on it. Okay, that's all. We don't need to personally go down there. Anyways, okay, sorry, I'm gonna come back to you guys in chat, and then we'll wrap up stream here. Yeah, when boomers retire, you will never be out of work, as they said. Well, they haven't. Not every game, JS, but Animal Well you have, and it is great. You agree? Yeah, some of the secrets are obscure, like super obscure. Yeah. Terraria and such games don't tickle your fancy, JS. How come? Why don't you like those? I love those kinds of like sandbox adventure exploration games. Like Stardew and even Minecraft. Avowed was great as well, as was Balatro. Yeah, you had mentioned, maybe it was Balatro that you mentioned recently. Your Game Pass subscription ended, so you can't play those yet, or play them again. Yeah. Yeah, you watch almost only videos from your subscriptions. Lorelei, that's how people fall into conspiracy theories these days? From cave diving videos? That's the alt-right pipeline. You know, who's behind these cave dives? It's deep caves? More like deep state. All right. But yeah, thanks, Poyu. Read Lord of the Rings before you go to sleep, then you'll be Tolkien in your sleep. That's good advice, Perks. It is good, actually, to go back and read stuff that really puts you at ease and reminds you that, you know, there are beautiful things in life. Like, yeah. I've had to stop Instagram because the algorithm is so pernicious. It will, I don't know, it's like, how can an algorithm decide, oh, how about we're going to show you some cute puppy videos because we know you like those. You like dogs. Here you go. Boom, boom. Now we're also going to show you a disaster, a plane crash where people die. Because we also know that you're the kind of person who wants to know what happened. So you're going to pull up the description and you're going to pull up the comments, even though you're not going to leave a comment or like the video. The fact that you've stayed on the video for so long just to figure out what happened means we're going to keep sending more of that to you. And so it's like, I can't even open Instagram without getting like disaster videos. It's like Instagram knows that I also watch cave diving accident videos on YouTube. Like, stop. All right. Enough. Oh, it's awful. But yeah. Lorelei, you're having some vegan marine domino. Is it Marianne? Well, whatever it is. It's a type of cookie or candy. I hope you're enjoying it. But if it's the domino that is like the knockoff Oreo, then I fully disapprove. If it has anything to do with that domino, good night. Goodbye and good luck. Good luck to you in your life. Your domino ignorance. I can only imagine how far you will go in life with that kind of attitude. Clearly. It's the domino with the Marianne filling. Okay. Well, as I feared. Oh, anyways, well, I'm just joshing, okay? Thank you guys for joining the stream. We will continue. We'll pick back up next week with some more Learn Finnish with me. Yeah, and in the meantime, if you want to join a gaming stream, I'd love to have you there. Even if you don't know anything about Terraria, just come and hang out in the chat. It's pretty fun. So I'll leave it here. Have a good rest of your Tuesday, and yeah, hope to see you in the next stream. Goodbye.